everybody, welcome back to Struberg Gaming. So we are reviewing Resident Evil 5 Xbox One. I will say the best thing about this is the whole package. The nightmares, all that stuff. Uh, so what they basically did is they took Resident Evil 5 and essentially ported it, cleaned it up a little bit. It's a little bit cleaner than it was. And why did this autosave at the bridge? Okay, that's odd. Oh well, it's not that big of a deal. But okay, so one thing I can say that is a negative is the auto-saving seems to be off as far as what it used to be. I had made it past this part before I started the review. Yet here I am again, dealing with this part. Okay, you know what? I was gonna take the hit because for some reason that was not going to Nate. With this being a pure, pretty much port, there's not a lot to talk about. They did clean up the HD a little bit. It was already HD because it was, you know, on the Xbox One. But I mean, the Xbox 360, PS3, right when it came out. They did clean it up a little bit. If I had to say what my favorite thing about this port is, that would probably have to be the fact that they got rid of Steroid Chris. They actually used something more reminiscent of his Resident Evil 6 model. He's still got a few veins on his arms, but my god, it's not as bad as it used to be. Audio sounds pretty much the exact same way it did back in the day. So graphics, pretty much the same, just cleaned up a little bit. The graphics were good even back when this game first came out. So back even over 10 years ago when this game first came out, this game looked good for its time. So, nothing really so shocking in the graphical department. I mean, it is Resident Evil. That's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be, you know, Resident Evil 5 remade a little bit on the Xbox, and it does that. Audio sounds okay. It sounds like just like what Resident Evil 5 sounded like back in the day. Nothing unique, nothing special, but it does the job, you know. They did a really good job making it sound like it did back when it first came out. And that's not a bad thing. The game was good even back in the day. A lot of people consider this one of the bad Resident Evils. They consider this what a lot of people say this is the beginning of the end for Resident Evil. This is, you know, should have never been made, that they got rid of survival horror. And quite honestly, it's not that. I mean, yeah, it's not what it was once upon a time. The real downfall started to be 6. Even though I liked 6 as an action game, I knew it was not a Resident Evil game. 6 was okay from an action standpoint. This was still that good balance. It really didn't change anything from the 4 formula, aside from bringing it into daylight. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. If, you know, you are okay with daylight, I mean, daylight can be scary. Just manners on you as the gamer. I personally have had plenty of fears playing this game. And not just in that swamp level either. So it did checkpoint, so why was I all the way back there? That's odd. But, gameplay is still the same. I wish they would have added more of 6's action-oriented stuff. I really, really hate stopping to shoot. I get that's one of the Resident Evil, you know, trademarks from back in the day, but, you know, we're at a point where we're past that. You know, the games have been evolving for years now. We are at a point where we're past walking slowly and shooting crap. It doesn't make it any more scary. In fact, it actually makes it more freaking annoying. That being said, they did a good job porting this over. The gameplay is still Resident Evil 5's gameplay. You know, for what it was at the time, I would have given it a 5 out of 5. Now, though, I expect a little bit more from Resident Evil. Even the first person, you could move and swing the axe in the 7 demo. So, you know, that being said, I'm going to give gameplay 4 out of 5. On to graphics. The graphics aged pretty well. It still looks pretty good. I mean, the facial animations are spot on. Muscle mass is still there. Everything still looks good from that point of view, surprisingly enough. And you got to consider this game is really borderlining like almost 20 years of age. You know, I'm shocked that they kept it looking this good and clean. So, and all they did really was basically update it a little bit. They oh shit! I forgot about these dogs being here. That scared me a little bit. It's been so long since I played it, I forgot about those dogs being in the tunnel. Jesus Christ. Okay. Back onto what I was saying about graphics now. Graphics for me get a 5 out of 5. They're still good, they're still clean, they're still crisp, and I love the fact that they've replaced the Chris model. I was not about rock punching steroid Chris. So I'm glad they went and did that for us. You know, they could have left it the way it was and called it a day. It wasn't a bad looking game, so they could have just sat there and been like, we're done. We ported it. But they didn't. They made some nice tweaks. Bringing in a more normal, you know, not steroid-induced looking Chris was one of those. So 5 out of 5 on that note. Audio. The audio is Resident Evil 5's audio. It was good back in the day, but not great. It's better now. It sounds cleaner using the current gen technology. But it's still really not all that great. It's still not anything, you know, unique.
Oh my god.
Whoa. Zombies. Zombies! Majin, or whatever they're called in this incarnation of the game. Shit. I'm gonna die from... No, I don't want to discard, I want to equip. Let me equip.
Help me! I owe you one.
Whew. You know, it's not anything unique, but it is still... It is still there as far as the audio goes. It's still Resident Evil goodness as far as what they did with it.
Take it.
Okay.
Machine gun ammo ain't full.
Okay.
I got too much handgun ammo is what it is. So, the audio gets a 4 out of 5. So, we gave the gameplay a 4 out of 5. We gave the graphics a 5 out of 5. And we gave the audio a 4 out of 5. What does that mean for the final score? I'm going to give...
Someone's here.
I'm going to give Resident Evil 5 a 4 out of 5. And I recommend it play. It's right for the price, but you know, if you can rent it, beat it in a weekend, do that. It's not, you know, something so unique that it absolutely has to be played. If it's not being played, oh my god, it's gonna be a disaster, you know. It hasn't gone to that level yet. That being said, That being said, this game definitely has its merits to be re-released. I'm really waiting for Resident Evil 4 to be re-released. That's supposed to be next month, I believe.
I need your help. Thanks, partner.
So I believe that's supposed to be next month that Resident Evil 4 is supposed to be released. Right now, with all the remakes, Resident Evil 2 with all the remasters, with Resident Evil 2 about to be completely remade, and Resident Evil 7 looking like it's going to be a great game. Minus the little cash grab they did with Umbrella Corpse, or whatever they call that little shitty third-person shooter. You know, minus that, it looks like we're looking at good times for a Resident Evil fan. It's not the best times, but it's definitely not the worst. It looks like they're finally starting to figure this back out again. And we're going to start seeing the stuff we should have been seeing. Resident Evil is a long-living franchise, and I want to see this franchise sell. I want to see this franchise live for a very long time, because it deserves it. It's not a bad franchise. No matter what people say about, oh, Resident Evil's lost its way, it's no longer survival horror. Fuck, Resident Evil has changed too much. People saying that, it has changed. And if Resident Evil 7's demo has proven anything, it's still evolving. They weren't done. They were trying to figure out where to go. They thought people wanted action, but I guess they're finally starting to see that we're getting to the point where we want to have a survival horror game, that we like survival horror. And they're trying to get back to those. But, that being said, the final score is a 4 out of 5. I do recommend playing it. Even if you redbox it, it's worth the play. Even if you just redbox the game. So, until next time, which will be the Need for Speed review. This is Strubert Gaming, and I am out.